Welcome to I Feel Fat Today. We are back again. It's another Friday. I'm your host, Kelly Taylor, and I'm back again with a phone intro. No video intro, but we have a video episode. I messed up my schedule, and I thought I was going to have time to film a full intro how I normally do, but I am leaving a day earlier for a work trip than I originally anticipated. So apologies for that. I'm thinking next week we will be back to our regularly scheduled programming. So bear with me through that, and I appreciate it. Okay. Follow us on Instagram at I Feel Fat Today. Follow me, your host, Kelly Taylor, at Hello, This is Kelly. Go to our YouTube channel where we have full video episodes and subscribe. Every time a person subscribes to my YouTube channel, I Feel Fat Today, a fat person doesn't feel bad about their body. I was trying to think of something to say that was like an angel gets their wings, but that was all that I could come up with on the spot, which wasn't very good. So sorry about that. I should just redo this, but I'm not going to because time is of the essence. Okay, and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. If you leave a review, I'll post it to my Instagram, give you a shout out, highlight you, and love you forever. Okay, really funny episode this week with my guest. He is a stand-up comedian, a great guy, really fun to go out on the road with. Please give a warm welcome to the very funny Alex Tomaselli.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, Tomaselli? Thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome. Hello.
You're enamored by the animals, and they love you. You're like
I am.
Snow White.
Yes. This St. Francis. I think it's St. Francis.
Yes.
He did that too.
Yeah, St. Francis.
I'm not Catholic like that, but
you just know your saints.
Yeah. My mom's super Catholic. Hello, friend.
Oh, so what were you raised with?
I was raised Catholic. I mean, I grew up believing that nonsense for a long time.
So, okay, so you just said, well, I'm not Catholic. So I hear that, and I'm like, oh, he wasn't raised Catholic.
Oh, no, I'm like confirmed. I am a confirmed Catholic.
Hell yeah. What's your confirmation name?
I think it's Mario.
Mario!
Yeah. Yeah. I just saw the name. I was like, I can pick that name.
You were like, you just love The Sopranos?
Yeah, just love Italians.
You just love Italians.
Any representation of Italians, I'm there for it. So that was me, yeah. And confirmation. I'm not against. I am an atheist, but I'm not against religion like I used to be. I used to be like one of those asshole
really
atheists.
like.
Yeah.
Everything would be fun if we didn't have religion.
Yeah, or if someone was like, I believe in God, I'd be like, why? And just really just pester them.
You just get them with your logic.
Yeah, just it's not hard, but I'm
yeah,
not.
Right. It's kind of easy to talk your way in and out of that.
Yeah, it's just but no more of that. Everyone can do whatever they want.
I like that.
I don't really care if that makes sense. I know this is not a religious podcast.
No. Well, it's because when someone asks me, like, if we're talking about religion and someone says, what are you? I say Catholic because I was raised Catholic, but like I'm not a Catholic. You know, I don't go to church. If I had kids, I wouldn't baptize them.
Yeah,
like,
I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not a practicing Catholic by any means.
Yeah, like, actually, I might baptize my kids just so my parents are like not annoying. But I don't know. We'll see.
I don't want to have kids.
Yeah, that's also the other part of it. It's like I might change my mind when I'm 40, but yeah, I don't know. So you're not Catholic now.
Nope, I'm not anything. I wouldn't even call myself agnostic. It's more like I don't care.
Yeah.
About what is like I don't think what's up there judges us the way we think it does.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. So I don't think it looks at us and goes, you have to believe this one thing.
Yeah. You don't think it's a benevolent God?
If it is, that's on that, isn't it? Right. Yeah. So like,
I always thought about it. Yeah, I grew up Catholic, went to Catholic school, and I always kind of looked at it because it was a lot for my mind to like I couldn't put my mind around the fact that like we're here and we don't really know how, but there's this guy that maybe made us. I don't know. And so I just was like, there's all these different religions, and it's whatever you believe, that's your version of heaven that you go to.
Right.
There isn't one right answer. We're all just kind of like, okay, well, this is what I know, and so this is where I'm going to go. But if you think you're going to get turned into a tree, you're going to come back as a tree.
Right. I got tripped up with religion almost the same way, but I went the other way where I was like, well, because I'm sure you know, as a Catholic, you're told. Well, I was at least by my mom.
I'm sure it's a similar experience.
Some people are told that if you don't believe what you believe, they don't get to go to heaven with you.
Yeah.
So,
that I couldn't wrap my mind around. So I was like, no.
That, and then on top of that, there's countries like India, let's say, where the predominant religion is not Catholicism.
Right.
So that would mean that all those people just go to hell.
Yeah. I wasn't down with
that. That doesn't make any sense. And that comes back to, like, if God's benevolent, you'd be like, well, why would God expect everyone from one area to believe one? It's just, or it doesn't make sense.
Sounds like a dumb whites thing.
Yeah,
what
and
we're
then
talking about.
Yeah, and then if that doesn't make sense, and then you start looking at all the things that don't make sense in it, you kind of get exhausted, and then you become like me, where you go, you know what, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because I think imagine if they like a nuclear holocaust happened, the world restarted, and then people found like Dungeons and Dragons books. You know what I mean? That would be wild. They'd be like Gorathor or whatever. So do whatever you want, but I'm
I like that.
a chilling guy.
What does this is gonna come out after Thanksgiving, but what does Thanksgiving look like for you?
Well, all right. So Thanksgiving now looks like I'm just gonna go to my mom's. And my grandfather's with my mom, and my cousins are going to come. It's probably going to be like 10 to 15 of us tops.
Yeah.
I'd say 10. Let's say 10 now. And that's fine. It's just it's very basic Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Just turkey. I go for a walk in the park before. I smoke a little, and then I pass out on the couch. That's every year, my cousin's boyfriend comes up to me and says the same thing. He goes, "You do it every year. You eat, and you go pass out on the couch," and I do. We
that's
smoke
your
together.
that's your Thanksgiving transition.
That's what I do. But I want to say that because this is post-COVID Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Before that, I had a very Italian Thanksgiving, which was on my dad's side when my parents were together and shit. Well, we went after they divorced, but anyway, it doesn't matter. On my dad's side, we had a thing where it was every other year was an on or off year. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So on the on years, and the off year, no one would really. We would go every year. On the off year, about me and a bunch of my cousins would come. There'd be about
it's just smaller.
20 people.
Yeah.
That's small for us. On the on year, 60 people.
It's a party.
Is insane amount of people. The whole family, and it was the Italian course style of like you showed up. There's hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
Then there's pasta and salad. Then you take a break, and then they come out with the turkey, and then there's dessert, and it's just everything in between. And it fucking ruled. I miss it so much.
Yeah.
I used to go there with mad weed, and I would snag all my cousins and anyone else who they brought who would smoke. I would go smoke with them. It was the best time.
A good old fashioned family party.
Yeah, it was like a movie. Like you see like family get-togethers in movies that are massive. I get reminiscent about my Thanksgiving where I'm like, hell yeah. Like I don't mean to bring them up all the time, but anytime I watch The Sopranos and they're at a family gathering, I'm like, this reminds me of my fucking side of the family, and not in the way they are, just the amount of people and food and everything.
Where would these shindigs be held?
This one was in New Canaan, Connecticut, which is a pretty affluent community.
So there was enough space.
Yes, it was a very nice house. It was a house, but it was. It had we all ate in the basement, but you could go up to outside. It was a huge yard.
Yeah.
That's where I would go smoke. It's a good time. 60 people could relatively comfortably hang out throughout the house.
Would it be like a big deal if you brought a girl with you to Thanksgiving?
Yeah, and I never did.
You
I've
never
brought a
did?
girl to my Thanksgiving.
Never once?
Nope, not one time.
Not once.
It's either been not once, because they've either been.
You've never had a girlfriend in
Wait,
November?
no, I brought my ex-girlfriend last year to Thanksgiving. Shout out to Nicole. She's cool.
Nice.
She did come. Yes, I did bring it, but that was to my mom's.
But yeah,
not to the 60.
Yeah, not to like the big one. Yeah,
I was too
because
young
even
and
the
dumb
off year
then,
sounds like a pretty big affair. Not as big as what you're describing.
No,
on
but
an
it is.
on-year,
Like, for regular people, a 20-person event.
Yeah, that's a lot.
For any regular event is like, oh shit.
Yeah, if I had 20 people in here, that'd be too many people.
Exactly. But I would see other people bring their boyfriends and girlfriends, and to just see the look on their face.
Yeah.
It's like a horror movie when they don't realize what they're going through, and then you see after they look. You've seen The Ring when he like sucks the soul out of people.
Yeah.
That's what they would look like when they left. They would just have sunken in eyes and just be like, "Thanks, nice meeting you," and I'd be like, "I'll never see you again."
Yeah,
a lot of
because it was just a fleet. Yeah,
just happens what it is. It is what it is. But no, yeah, a lot of times, even people who were used to it would come out of it drained. They'd be like, but I liked it. I'm
like, your family's such a prize.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, it's not even that. It's just, it was exhausting, but I that's also why I think I like New York City, because I am overstimulated here in a good way. Not to the point where it hurts me, to the point where I can almost, all the noise lets me focus on what I want to focus on.
Yeah. You need the background noise to zero in.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, I remember, I'm trying to think what was the first holiday I brought Joe to. It was either Thanksgiving or Christmas. I'm going to say it was Christmas. But it was the first time he was like meeting my family, meeting my grandparents,
Mm-hmm.
And we walked away from it, and he was like, "You make a lot more sense now." Like, and all like the things that are like off about me, and all the things that are like, "Why would you get upset over that?" He's like, "I see it. I see it."
I think if people saw my dad and I interact more often, they'd be like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Yeah.
Because you and him, like, it's just stupid silliness. You're like, "Oh, that's why you're high strung or whatever."
Right.
Not that my dad and I fight all the time. We just we easily provoke each other over nothing, and we don't even fight. We just say, we keep nipping at each other. We went on vacation a few months ago, and the first 2 days we were jet lagged.
Yeah.
We were. I wasn't like physically gonna fight him, but I was looking at him like, "Yo, you say another stupid fucking thing, I swear to God, I'm gonna spaz." Like,
jet lag plus parents is a recipe for disaster.
And I'm 31, so I'm standing there with my dad. Like, I don't know, why am I fucking arguing with? I'm an adult man.
Yeah, I'm an adult man.
Why are we still arguing? Like, you're my because I have his son, obviously, but like.
Yeah.
The way we're arguing is like.
He's definitely your dad, but what you're describing is older brother, younger brother kind of dynamic to a degree.
Yeah, I'm an only child, so
that's makes sense.
Yeah.
How was it being an only child? Did you like it?
Yeah, actually, I don't do it often. I have a bit about it, but I think for what a lot of people tell me about it, or they tell me what they think about only children, it's like we're selfish. I wouldn't necessarily say it's wrong. I would say I'm pretty selfish. Just in general, like I'm not not to a bad extent. Just like I like to do what I like to do.
Yeah,
that's probably why I choose.
Beat of your own drum.
Yes, very much so. And whatchamacallit, I know how to like be. I think being by yourself. I know how to be by myself because I'm an only child. Though I don't like being lonely. But I know how to be by myself. Like, I know I could just go about my day and entertain myself.
I don't understand people that can't be by themselves. I don't understand that. I know, fitness. We have a visitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand people that can't be by themselves.
One time when I was younger, I would always go visit my cousins in Vermont, and I was staying with them, and I never had video games, so They did. And I would just play them all day.
Like, I'm good.
Yeah, they would just and I remember one time, because I'm not nosy. I could just I can hear shit. I'm going to, listen.
Mm-hmm.
But my aunt was like talking to my cousin in the other room. I was playing video games. And she was like, you should bring him somewhere. He's like, he's probably lonely. And he's like, I think he wants to just play. She's like, no, go talk to him. See if he wants to. And my cousin came in and was like, hey, man, do you want to like go hang out and play or whatever? And I was like, yeah, sure, we could do that. He was like, okay, just because you're like really into playing this game. I was like, yeah, like
I really like this.
I'll keep playing if you let me. And they're like, yeah, we'll go out, because I think they just wanted me to get outside.
Yeah.
But I just remember them thinking I was like alone. And I was just like, no, I'm so entertained right now by myself.
Like your aunt is thinking that you're like sitting there playing, like, I wish someone would ask me to hang out,
I'm
but
like,
you're
no,
so
I
fine.
want to fucking I'm playing Spider-Man. But yeah, and I also grew up in a neighborhood that had I had friends streets over, and I had cousins, 6 of them, which is insane.
Yeah.
All under the same roof.
Yeah.
On the same street. And one of my cousins, Andrew, shout out to Andrew, I don't doubt he'll see this, but he he's 2.5 years younger than me, so when we grew up we were very close. We're still close. He just lives in Virginia now.
Yeah. So. Here's the thing that I've ascertained from only children, and the only reason why I have like as an opinion on it at all is because when I think about like the potential of having kids in the future, I'm probably 90% no, but then there's that 10% to me that's like, oh, I could have a kid when I'm older, but I'm like, the buck has to stop at 1. Like, even though ideally I would, give it a sibling, it's like, oh man, I think just I see myself having 1.
Yeah.
And I noticed, because my girlfriends and we talk about like dating only children and like what that was like, and they're definitely more selfish, blah blah blah. Oh, yeah. But I have a few feelings as to why that might be the case, but also it's only ever women that are like only children are selfish. I've literally never heard a guy be like, oh, he's an only child, watch out. Never once have I heard a guy have that opinion.
That is true. I've now that you mentioned that, I don't have that. If a girl was like, I'm an only child, I wouldn't even think twice about it. Right. Well, because I'm an only, but still, you know what I mean? I'll tell you what I do. I've explained this to everyone who says they're twins, identical twins.
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't fuck with them.
I don't want you in my life. You hear me? I don't want you treacherous creatures.
Spawns of Satan.
I don't like identical twins. I'll say it right now.
What about fraternal?
That's fine.
What about fraternal, but they look alike?
That's fine, but identical,
like same DNA.
Like when you look at them, you go, I see that. Like, not like, now that you say that you're twins, I see it. When you look at them, you go, you're twins.
You're like, I need a separate egg.
Yes.
We need separate eggs.
You
can't be shacking up in the same egg in when you're.
They verify their own bullshit.
Yeah.
With each other.
Yeah.
They
you always have someone to agree with you.
They'll never, like, no matter what they do, they'll always have the other one to go, I did this, that's right. And the other one will go, yeah, of course.
Yeah, well, I'm you, so yeah.
I've seen it happen numerous times, and I'm like, I don't fuck with them. Dude.
Damn. I don't know any identical twins. But yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. But it is what it is. Being an only child, it's okay. The reason I am, though, allegedly, according to my mom, is because when she had me, she just hated it, like having me.
Oh, like being pregnant.
Physically, yes. Well, yeah, yes, but the pushing me out.
Oh, like giving birth.
She did not like giving birth, and she
understandable.
According
it's a big
to
part
her,
of it.
she said like literally, I think like holding me was like to my dad who wanted like 6 kids.
Yeah,
was like, I'm not doing this again. Like just
Damn.
I'm not. Nope. Like, even before I even anything, she was like, nope, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah. Mind was made up. Because, I mean, that's like a post-traumatic, post-birth trauma. Like, that's a reaction women, I think, probably have often. But she didn't change her mind.
Yeah, she was like, I did not enjoy having, pushing.
Yeah, that's so funny. There was I dated this one only child, probably one of the only children I've ever dated. But he was saying how one time my mom got really drunk and told me that she wanted more children, but your father couldn't give me any more children.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's not great.
And that's why you're an only child.
Cool, Mom. Thanks.
Yeah, mom's dropping just like cool little bouts of information. Like I remember not finding out, but I remember hearing when like, oh, your little brother, he was a surprise. And then finally realizing that meant that was like the one time they boned.
Yeah. A surprise.
Yeah. It's like, oh, thank you for that, I guess.
A nice way of saying accident.
Yes. Yeah, totally. And she told me I was an accident
I'm
too.
an accident too.
Yeah, I'm
also an accident.
My mom was like, you're lucky that we don't believe in abortion.
That's it. My mom didn't say that. She wouldn't. I don't think she would say that, but that's wild. She is very Christian though. So my dad and her I think they were dating like 2 years, and she got pregnant.
Yeah.
And then they got married, and they had me, I believe, shortly after that. Not too much longer, but within.
Yeah.
I believe so. Something like that. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
But
obviously very important to your history.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm an act. Whatever. What can you do about it?
Okay, so growing up, did you play sports? What was your deal as a kid?
I played like intermediate sports, so not in. I might be just throwing that word in there. I didn't play in high school.
Okay.
I played recreational sports. Recreational sports. So I played basketball and soccer.
Okay.
And,
all through high school?
No, stopped in high school. I actually did track in high school.
Oh, okay.
And didn't go to one meet, which still got credit. Yeah.
Still got credit.
Yeah, because I had a job, so I was like, I can't go because I have a job. They're like, well, you have a commitment to this, and I was like, but I get paid at my job.
Yeah, yeah. And at the end of the day, these extracurriculars is just so that you're not doing drugs.
Yeah.
Because it's like you get done with school for the day, and then it's like, well, what are you going to do? You're either going to do a sport or you're going to get a job.
Yeah. So I ended up doing that, but I was never too great at sports. I was thinking about this the other day. I would genuinely be playing basketball. You couldn't do this during, but soccer, if we were kicking their ass on offense and I was on defense, because you just hang in the back.
Yeah.
I would just sit there and like let my imagination wander, which was usually like I'd imagine what would happen if like a T-Rex ran on the field and just ruined the game. I'd be like, whoa, that was me. Like, just sitting there being like...
Were you smoking before these games?
No, that's the thing. That's me as a child, just
yeah.
being like, wonder what would happen if aliens came and just zapped everyone.
It's
but
funny.
I could get away. You know what I mean? Like, and that's me. That is me playing sports.
It's funny you say that because I did softball and I was an outfielder for sure. And, you don't get a lot of action out there a lot of the times, and I would just be like looking up in the clouds, thinking about stuff, counting random numbers, and then like also wonder like imagine like a plane crashing nearby.
I liked action movies and stuff, so I played guns even by myself, and I'd always think about crazy scenarios,
cops and robbers, but you're just a dirty cop.
Yeah, I would. Well, I had such a vivid imagination that if I watched like Star Wars, I would go outside after and like imagine I was like Luke Skywalker and fight one.
We really would just be in our backyards doing that.
Like I had toy guns, and I'm sure my neighbors would just be like looking out their windows and see a kid like running with guns. Like, what the fuck is this
He's
kid?
not playing with anybody.
What is he doing? But I also, you just said it too. I just went out.
Picture a plane crash.
Yeah.
Imagination.
Oh shit! It was with. Oh no! Yeah, but that I don't know. I think it just was that I would always go outside.
Yeah.
And fight like imaginary people and imaginary stuff. That's another thing about being an only child is
you got to use that noggin. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was it too. I don't remember much of third grade, but I do remember the teacher being like, "Alex, pay attention."
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay.
Because you were wandering.
And every time she said pay attention, specifically would imagine a scenario of like battleships getting attacked by water dinosaurs, like plesiosaurus. and elasmosaur and like the Leopleurodon, and I mean hours of this, just sitting there like staring ahead and being like,
and she knew that you were.
and they just be like, "Are you listening?" Like, "Yeah, sure." And just,
Am I not looking at you?
Just going off. I mean, I still have memories of just that. I don't remember what they were talking about during this time. I think it was history stuff, and yeah.
I think we were talking about this on your pod, but maybe this is why you aren't good for like an office job. Because if you're not like, if your labor is not you like having to be engaged, like, you know, throwing a hatchet or whatever the fuck you're doing, like you if you had to sit in front of a computer, you'd be thinking about water dinosaurs.
Yeah, I would, exactly. I would just be sitting there like, I wonder what would happen if like John Wick came in here. Because that's where it is now. But yeah, I would be thinking nutty stuff.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you had a healthy imagination.
Yeah.
So did you have any fat phases growing up?
Yes, I did actually. But like fat is relative. I think
chunky, pudgy.
I'd say so mine's on a lower level. I want to say that, but I'll give you in like weight.
Like
how the
like
difference.
First season AJ Soprano.
Yeah, getting there. Yeah, getting there. So, fun fact: I got arrested for selling weed back in 2013.
You're a criminal.
I am a criminal on paper. Yeah, whatever. Okay, I did it. Is what it is. Have I seen? No. I'm sorry. So I used to sell. I got arrested for selling weed, and on top of just that, I got my bank accounts frozen.
Oh.
I got my cash seized. All the weed I had on me seized. I got expelled from college, and just
probation.
Well, that didn't come yet. That wasn't even there yet.
Yeah.
That's just and then all that. Yes, probation, all that dragged. My name dragged through the mud. I could not get a job.
Oh my God!
It's horrible.
It was like a small town crime.
Yeah,
so
but it was
spread.
also and it was everyone knew. Which I didn't really care about so much until I just couldn't make money.
The inability to make money is.
Everyone knew I sold weed. It wasn't, except for my mom.
Oh, that Tomaselli boy.
So,
where did they go wrong with him?
So that was bad, and a bunch of other things happened at the time that I can't really like. I think my ex, I had broken up with a girlfriend a few months before. Anyway, doesn't matter. This all results in a bad depression because things are not going well.
How old were you?
21, I believe, or 22.
Okay, so early
21.
20s.
I am
early
21. Actually,
21.
I know I'm 21.
Which also a rough age to get in trouble because you're going out for the first time legally.
It was rough. It was not great. I'm not gonna lie. It really sucked. Very stressed out. Also had the weight of like going to jail at one point, but that went away relatively quick. Anyway. And I had to pay a lawyer. A lot of financial destitute with almost no way to solve it in Horizon. Everything's bad, is what I'm trying to say. I'm working at a grocery store at the time and a pizzeria on the same block. And for every day I would go to the grocery store, I had the day shift, and during the day shift I would go to Wendy's. And I would eat a 5 for 4 for 4, 5 for 5,
baby.
Probably every day for a while.
4 for 4 every day is. You're putting numbers.
Pizza place.
Oh,
I work at the pizza place, which means, and I'll just give you a quick lowdown of my specialty. They had these big, giant garlic knots, so I would saw them in half.
Stop it.
Pepperoni, cheese. So I'd make sandwiches.
Make a little Italian sandwich on that
best.
garlic roll.
And I do like sometimes 2 of these a day. So this is bad. I'm doing this for a while.
I'm picturing like a Cinnabon.
Yeah.
Size.
It is. You should be. It's like maybe not as big as this candle, but some could be on the good days. But I'm just not as high. But imagine anyway.
Bath and Body Works candle.
It's pretty big.
Smaller than that.
Pretty big. So that's going down. I had probably at the time before this was 165-ish, 170.
And you're 6'1".
I'm 6'1" now, so I think I was then too.
Yeah,
so,
probably. 6'1", 165.
And at the grocery store I work at, there's this. It was at Expect Discounts, Middletown, Cromwell, Connecticut. If anyone ever watched this, it was the scale is legendary. It's this huge scale in the front of the building. I'd always go on it every once in a while, and then one day I was like, "Oh, hop on it today." I'm used to it being like 170. I hop on it, and this thing goes right past 170, 180, 190, and as it got to like one, I jumped off. I swear to God, I jumped off. It was like, what the fuck was that? And I like looked at it. I literally looked at it, like walked away, like, hey, that scales. Swear to God, it was like a movie. Scales messed up, guys. The scale. Check the scale. And then someone else checked it and was like, no, the scale's fine. I was like, and we kept checking it. And then I was like, okay, so days went by, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna fucking check this. Because I had one at home, but I was like thinking about it. Like, I had to think. And then I got on the scale, and I believe at that time I'd gotten to like 205.
Oh wow.
Or something. And I would inevitably get to 213. That's the one I remember.
Yeah.
That's the one I remember the most, because at that point I also was living with my mom.
Yep.
And my mother is not cool with people gaining weight. She wasn't cool with my dad gaining weight when they were married.
She's an almond mom, as the kids call it. Like, does she have healthy snacks around?
No, that's the thing. She eats whatever she wants.
Oh, really?
But she exercises, and she doesn't eat in excess.
Okay.
So
she's a healthy diet.
Yes, relatively. But she still eats, like, anyway, I don't know. She has a good metabolism. When I was living with my mom, shared a bathroom. So in the house. So I would come out of the bathroom sometimes. It's on the first floor. I'd have to go up to my room.
Yeah.
And if she ever saw,
it's annoying.
If she ever saw me in my towel, she would make like a habit of this. She would just she'd either make a noise or a comment. Be like,
like, ugh.
I'd be like, what? And she'd be like, you're gaining weight. You look terrible. And she'd be very blunt about it.
Oh man, it's good thing she didn't have a daughter, man.
Yeah, I don't fault my mom for this.
Right.
There's things I could be like, my mom didn't do this right, but it's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
I don't judge my mom for those things. Having said that, I am thankful she was like this with me, because it did crack through my psyche, along with the other major thing that got me. I went to a party, and it was with people I hadn't seen in a while, but just hadn't seen a few.
Yeah.
And my buddy Howard, he was playing beer pong, and I was like, "What up, Howard?" from behind, and it was like a lot of people here.
Yeah.
And he turned around and went, "Dog, you got fat as fuck," and I went, like, literally, like, taken aback.
Yeah.
And it was like, "Shut up, you queer," like, so, like something like that. And just, I remember, like, I got in the car on the way home, and everyone was like, "You all right?" I was looking out the window. I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna start exercising tomorrow." Like, swear to God.
And
I
that's all it was.
went home and started running every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I do now. I either run or bike.
Okay.
Daily, or if it's too cold for either, I walk for a long time.
I love walking in this goddamn city.
Yes, it's the best. That is, I do look forward to, if I go for a long stroll, I'm like, this is the most entertaining stroll I could go on.
Yeah,
usually.
totally.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
So.
Interesting. So, okay, so mom broke your spirit.
Yep.
And so now you're able to.
Yeah. She's very complimentary now when she sees me. She goes, "You look good. You're dead."
Yeah. And here's the thing with moms doing that.
You look fat.
I am definitely more hypocritical of a mom that does that to a daughter, because societally we have a different relationship with weight, and I know guys feel it too, as far as like whether they're self-conscious. Your friend literally just straight up calling you out, being like, "You got fat."
Yeah. Dudes will do that to each other. I don't think I've ever seen a girl do that. I've seen dudes that to each other numerous times. I've never seen a girl do that in public personally. I believe it happens.
Well, I've only ever experienced, and even myself doing this and having it done to me, is that when you lose weight, it's like unbelievably complimentary. Like, look at you, you look amazing. Like, all like overly complimentary. But if you gain weight, people are just nice to you. And then when you're not in the room, they're like, "Did you see how fucking fat she got?" You know, whereas like with guys, it's just like, "What the fuck, man? You've been eating?" Like,
yeah.
And I don't know what people should do. I don't know what is the right way. Like, if girls have it right or if guys have it right. I don't like people talking about me behind my back. But also, if someone was just like, if someone was like my grandmother and was like, "You gained a lot of weight," I would like have to leave. I wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah. I don't. I'm trying to think of anyone else where someone said something to me. I remember when I lost weight too. My boy John said to me, he was like, "Yeah, man, he's like, you look like you used to." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I mean, for a little while there, you were just like getting wider."
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, shit."
Well, can't someone go through a hard time?
Yeah.
Do you think you would have lost the weight if someone hadn't said anything to you? Like, do you think your life would have improved? And with your life improving, you would have lost the weight?
No, maybe not. No, not as drastically. I remember it like thinking about it a lot,
And
when-
it being
when
like
peop-
a motivator.
because it was a thing of like where I ran into people. I then started to notice. I just was. It almost woke me up where I was like, holy shit! I realize how bad I am eating.
Yeah.
And all that. I also, I'm not. I just exercised more. I don't really eat well now.
Right.
I eat better now because of
Cost.
yeah. And I dated a girl who one day she was like, we were hanging out for like 3-4 days in a row, and we were eating, and she goes, "You don't eat vegetables, do you?"
Oh, that's like the worst
And
thing.
I go, "Yeah, eat vegetables? I eat vegetables all the time." And she goes, "We've been hanging out all week. You haven't had one vegetable." And I go, she goes, "When's the last time you like made vegetables and ate them?" And I was like, and she was like, I don't know. I'm not gonna tell you to live your life, but you might benefit you to have a vegetable." And I was like, "You're right." And
Like,
honestly, since her, I do have vegetables daily now.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
shout
So
out to-
it really just takes one person being
Yeah.
kind of stern with you for it
Yeah.
to impress upon dramatic
yeah,
change.
or super attractive too. That
True.
helps too. If they're like really and stern too, but like again, she was saying she didn't judge me. It was just the way she looked at me when she was almost looking at me like, "Are you retarded?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you're missing something here.
Yeah, like like you might not be as drowsy or tired. You might be.
Yeah.
more
You'll
active,
feel better.
Oh,
Stop,
boy.
Petra, Jesus.
Jeez,
Um.
these freaking dogs.
Hey, why are you freaking out? Stop it.
Mid pod, Petra.
Yeah, literally. It's like Michael Vick dog fighting podcast. Stop. Why are you
Jeez.
doing this?
Psycho dog.
Yeah, crazy. Sorry to the listeners' ears. Finn, why don't you stop? Why don't you go?
Finn,
I
come over
know.
here.
I don't know why.
Come
I
over
don't know why I just told Finn to stop, but it's because he
he's
was
go
like
home.
looking over at me, trying to get on my lap. It's like, no, you see, I have a crazy dog
Yeah,
that's
more
willing
prissy
to.
dog. Look at Finn. And look at that dog.
I know.
Whose side are you
Ow,
on?
Petra, you hurt my wrist in me defending my little boy.
yeah.
Do you want to get off? Is that what's happening?
So yeah, the
Yeah, anyways, whatever. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, a person's attractiveness really will affect how I act. Like, nothing takes away my appetite more than sitting next to an attractive guy. Like, 100%. Like, there have been times where it's like I'll go out to, like, a mic on my own or something, and I'm like, okay, when I get there, maybe I can order a little bit food before the mic or after the mic. And then there's just somebody there that's like incredibly attractive, and I'm just like, I'm not eating.
not in front of it.
Yeah. I'll eat when I get home.
But yeah, I still eat like shit. I just I'm better at spreading it out throughout the week.
Yeah, and like just moderation in general.
Yeah, because I love bad food. I mean,
Yeah.
I could.
You're a foodie. You're an Instagram foodie.
I am, dude. I'm such a dork.
You're a food blogger.
I would never have been like you. If you told now, there's a lot of things you told me 5 years ago. I'd be like, sick, dude. That's oh hell yeah. But if you told me also if you see something cool, you're gonna eat. You're gonna take a picture of it. I'd be like, no,
I can't.
no. I would like try to smash this glass. I really.
Now you can't stop,
I
man.
don't want. Yeah, because in my defense, it's always something I'm either super proud that I'm eating or something cool.
Yeah.
Like where I'm like, this is so melted with cheese, I have to share with the people.
Yeah.
Or it's like just a place I like to promote because I know people do reach out and go, where is this? Where, are you or I've been there, yada, yada. And that's what I like to do. I can't help it.
I have some friends in my life where if I'm in a given area and I think that they kind of know the area, I'm hitting them up for food recs because they're a food person. Like if I was in Connecticut, I'd be like, hey, I'm in this area. Do you know food?
Oh yeah.
And you might be like, I've never been to that part of the state in my life. Or, you have a bunch of recs. Because whenever we go out on the road, you always are like, oh, I kind of think I know this place over here.
Rhode Island,
and it's always good. It's always great. Oh, the Rhode Island pizza place was. Yeah.
I forgot their name again.
I think it's called Pizza Place. It's called Pizza Place.
It was so good.
But it's so good. It definitely, its namesake is right on, for sure.
Yeah, it was the best.
Okay, so it sounds like you had you were 20, 21, 22, seriously depressed because life was not working out. And so weight gain was to follow. And I'm wondering because sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Well, just because now that I'm thinking about it, because my mom also, it says a lot of it's from my mom, but it's like growing up, she was also very she would tell me that when I was growing up, even as a child, be like, you're getting pudgy. You have to go outside more.
Yeah, and thank God she didn't have a daughter. I don't mean to keep saying this, but
wasn't. I remember.
Yeah. Yes.
Pictures too. But in my mom's minor defense, I'm playing very devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
My father was gaining weight, so she had a fear
of
me taking after my father, which I do not, thankfully, in that respect. But because he did fluctuate. He very much gained weight as they went on. Also because they were fighting all the time, and you're not in a good relationship, that can happen. So, there's that. But so now where I am in my life, I'm pretty happy with the way I look, physically.
Yep.
So,
long and lean.
Yes, I'm a fan, and the
ideal.
Yes. So I try to maintain. I want to gain muscle at some point, but I'm so goddamn lazy. I really am lazy too.
That I'll never know what it's like to be a guy that wants to gain muscle, but it sounds like something you have to really continuously work at.
Yeah, it's at least another hour out of my day, and it's not like literally today I rewatched Dungeons and Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves.
Yeah.
Rules, but I'm just saying, again, I'm selfish. I like to do what I like to do. So if I have time and I'm like, oh, I'm going to relax, I'd rather do that than. But I know I eventually will do something. I'm just, again, I'm lazy. And if I had more time, again, I have time, but if I had more time to, really just carve that out, I would. I'd rather go biking and stuff.
Yes. Here's my thing when it comes to being more dedicated to working out, besides, biking or walking, whatever. I need the barrier of entry to not be there. I need it to be so easy for me. So I'm like, okay, when I make a lot of money, I'll be able to hire a personal trainer. And if I have a personal trainer, I'm definitely going to go.
Right.
And they're going to show me what I need to do to work out. And I'm like, until then,
right.
I'll stick with, the occasional workout class and, walking over the Williamsburg Bridge.
There you go. That's no minor feat.
Yeah, I love it.
I've ridden my bike over it, and that is back and forth, and that's a trip.
In the springtime, really is when I do it. But I love walking over the Williamsburg Bridge, thinking of my set for an open mic and hitting an open mic in the Lower East Side. It's perfect.
There you go.
Especially because walking, for me at least, gets my brain going, gets my imagination creeping up, and
I live in a windowless room right now, or my bedroom, and if I don't go out almost first thing in the morning, which I have to keep reminding myself, I slip into a depression.
Totally. You need a happy lamp or a happy light.
I have lights. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. It's just when you first wake up, you just lay there.
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
and then it just get on the phone and it's.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But no, I do have to keep doing that. I really have to get outside. I don't know why I'm so. Anyway,
you're human.
I know.
Not to be annoying, but I think if anybody were in a windowless room and I wake up in the morning, I have a window right there. I wake up and I'm like, another fucking day. And having an animal gets me out of bed because it's like, I gotta walk this. Even though he's just as bad, he'll sleep in longer than I will.
I'm trying to. I've gotten away from waking up because I used to wake up and not say. I don't know if it was probably like I hate myself, but I remember waking up and being like, I don't want to do this every day.
Yeah.
That was for like certain jobs I had.
Yeah.
And I don't do that anymore. I really like my life. I just need more money.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't mean like, I make enough money now and I need more money. I mean, I don't make
not in a greedy
money.
way, in like a...
I mean, I need more money.
Having a livable wage kind of way.
It's coming. I really want it now.
Yeah.
If I could wake up tomorrow, it'll happen. I just got to work harder.
Yeah, absolutely.
But on that,
You also have the hookups for food places that you frequent. Like you're actually a Checkers VIP.
I am, but you know what? I'm gonna post about this soon on my Instagram. So if I don't, and someone else sees this, I haven't seen Samira. Who, if no one, little backstory. I go to the same Checkers all the time, and there was this girl there. This woman. It's a grown woman who we became very fond of each other, not sexually as far as I know,
human to human.
Her name was Samira, and Samira would hook it up. Samira would always give me extra tenders, extra stuff, extra love, and I haven't seen Samira in like 4 visits, and I'm freaking out.
No.
And I'm sad. And I got to learn these dudes' names now. I don't think it'll be the same.
You have to finesse another.
But I really liked Samira, and she's very nice. It's not even an attractive thing. She was just very nice. She always gave me food. She knew I would smoke. She'd let me pack bowls in the Checker and go outside. And she's very nice. She's very cool. And I miss her. So shout out to Samira.
You should write to corporate and be like,
Where's
just
Samira?
so you know, at your Bushwick location, Samira whatever is the best employee. Give her a raise.
Yeah, and I went recently, and don't get me wrong, the Checkers there, it's still doing well. They still are very cool.
Yeah.
But without Samira, because I used to see her I would come in drunk, high.
Yeah.
I mean, all hours when I first got here. I mean, like between after open mics, it was my go-to because it's open till 5 a.m.
Yeah.
It's always good to go. And I would stumble in. And she was always there and be like, what can I get you? And I'd be like, look at this. Look at this shit.
Did you go from living at your mom's house to living in New York? Or
Well, I lived by myself for a while. Not by myself. With roommates and friends for a while. And then when I was living with friends for about a year and I couldn't live with them anymore. And then I was dating someone who I couldn't date anymore, and that all fell together at the same time. So I didn't have time to find a new roommate or go anywhere else. So I ended up living with my mom. My mom was cool with it. And I was eventually going to live with my friend Josh. And then I was like, I don't want to be in Connecticut anymore because of numerous reasons. Connecticut, you can just say Connecticut. You can figure it out. But,
no, it makes perfect sense. You would want to. You're just saying I was living in Connecticut and I wanted to go to New York. Okay.
So, and then, a lot of things were comedy. I was like, fuck it. I'm doing a lot of comedy. I might as well just move to the city. Like, felt like I had hit the ceiling of comedy. Besides being a regular at a club in Connecticut, which doesn't.
You got to come to New York to grow.
I just said, fuck it. I'm just going to go to New York. And that was
So I guess because when you were living out on your own, I feel like living on your own in Connecticut is different than living on your own. And when I say on your own, I mean not at mom's. Living on your own in New York, it's like, I remember I was, I always had like a lot of chores and responsibilities growing up. But I don't consider going to college as like really living away from home. It was my first time, but you have like meal plans and cafeterias. I'm hungry. Let me go to this place that's designed to feed me. Whereas when I moved here in 2016, I was in my early 20s and I'm just like, oh, okay. All right. I guess I'll go to the grocery store, even though like, it just was weird. Now it's just like, no, I have to, this is my money that I'm spending the groceries on. Like it was a different ball game. Entirely. And also in New York, I mean, the best food imaginable.
There's tacos everywhere.
The best food money
Pizza,
can buy.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's in the street till like
whenever
like
you want.
after midnight usually too.
Yeah, I was walking.
I got tacos last night walking home, at like between 12 and 1.
Yeah, I did that recently. It was between 12 and 1. My one friend lives on the other side of Williamsburg, so I just was walking from one side of Williamsburg to my end on a Saturday night, walking down Bedford Ave. It's like a dinner and a show. It's just so, I love the energy of it. Pass the taco truck, pick up a nice quick tostada, continue on your walk home. It's
if
the
you go
best.
to Martha's Bakery, which I frequent often.
You're a fan of Martha's?
I love Martha's Bakery. Why,
I
do you
do
not like
No, I'm not someone that
you're like they're too mainstream.
I have one on either side of me.
Right.
You know? And no, it's not a mainstream thing. Believe me, I was psyched when I was so hyped when they like opened up. I was like, "Oh, this place is awesome." But the luster, if I came into this neighborhood and was like, "Oh fuck, I forgot that there's a Martha's there," I'd be so excited. And sometimes you can get some duds from Martha's. Some of the cakes taste a little chemically but you know what slaps and is good 100% of the time?
What?
Of many things, but number one for me is their goddamn cupcakes.
Oh yeah.
They're so good.
Tuesday night they have like
Monday.
It is Monday. Right.
Yeah, Monday is $2
cupcakes.
cupcakes. But I haven't seen the
night.
sign outside of the door. I hope they still have it.
There's pies another night, slice of pie.
Yeah, slice of pie for $3.50.
Another shout out to my ex, who I actually like, Nicole. She
shout out to Nicole.
She and I, when I moved here, she would come visit, and we would always go to the movies and then go to Martha's at the one we could like sit down in. We could sit down.
Yeah,
in
you
both
can
with
sit
the
down.
bigger
Yeah.
one. And yeah, I really like a good bakery, and they really. I also
their
feel like they
coffee's
hook
good.
it up. Like I ordered a slice of pie, which was like, I think like between $7 and $10.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like when I got it, I was like, okay, this is like.
Yeah.
I expected it to be less than this,
Right.
especially for the city. But yeah, I really, I like this area. I want to eventually live here.
Yeah, totally.
It is my. You could call it a goal, but it's whatever. Manifest, whatever.
Hell
it is.
yeah, manifest destiny.
But I like this area a lot.
Pivoting a little bit, I'm curious. Have you seen the discourse online about Matt Rife's newest special?
Yes, and honestly made me a fan.
Same.
Made me a fan.
I've
dude.
talked to so many comics who are like, now I like him.
So this is my thing with Matt Rife. I've said to a lot of people, even publicly, I'm like, I do not like Matt Rife. I don't like that people are like, have you heard of Matt Rife? And I'm like, yeah, I've heard of Matt Rife. And everyone's like, what do you think? Because I think he's like really funny. And I go, I'm sure he's hilarious because a lot of what I say is a lot of what I've seen is just crowd work.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not one of those comedians who's like, it's just crowd work. Crowd work's a gift.
Yeah.
It's not easy to.
Believe me, you'd see more crowd work clips from me if I had the ability to do really good crowd work.
And I do post. I post my nonsense crowd work, but all my crowd work, and I even think I do fine. I wouldn't even post the stuff I post because it doesn't come off well. His does. He's very good. My whole thing with Matt Rife is there's not enough bits I've seen of his.
Right.
That bits. I feel like he has great marketing. That's what it is. He's the new Dane Cook and D'Elia.
Yeah, totally.
Having said that, I also don't have access to his specials or anything. So
yes, same. I went to go watch him. Like, fuck, I forgot it on Netflix. Right now.
Anymore. Yeah. So having said that, what he did, which could I explain it, or do you want?
Yeah, no, please go.
Because he had a bit about domestic. It's not even a bit about domestic
I know
violence.
it's not. It's one joke.
I read
it's a street joke.
Yeah, I read. It essentially is a street joke. It's a very. I read the bit and was like, "That's funny." Like, if I get what he's doing.
Yeah,
that's a bit. And then people got offended. It was about a woman having a black eye. Yeah, he essentially did the cop. A woman have a black eye. Why does she have a black eye? Because tell him twice.
The joke was that
around. I'm just saying it's in that realm of that.
Yeah, I remember the joke.
Yeah,
it's. I was at a restaurant. I was at a restaurant in Baltimore, but like I also didn't understand why he specified Baltimore. Like, who cares?
Maybe he's filming it there.
Oh yeah, maybe. I don't know. But I was like, that's one of those things where it's like there's an extra detail in the joke that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, just get to the punchline. Yeah. But anyway, so the joke is like, I was at a restaurant and the waitress had a huge black eye just right in your face. And my friend was like, she should be working in the kitchen so that she's not greeting customers when, they come in and see this black eye. And he's like, well, maybe if she had been in the kitchen to begin with, she wouldn't have gotten the black eye.
Yes.
Street joke.
Very fun. Yes.
Yeah.
Silly. Misdirect.
Misdirect.
Yes.
It's just joke structure. Yeah. Like, it just is a joke.
Yes.
I maybe wouldn't. I would sandwich that joke in. Maybe. Like, I don't know if I'd start a special with it because it's not that strong.
I also do think it was leading into something the way he's explaining it.
Okay, yeah, because I honestly only saw that joke because the only way I had access to it was going on TikTok and typing in Matt Rife Netflix special and it being a stitch of someone very angry at him for telling that joke.
And that's the thing. People then got mad, and then Matt Rife posted a thing that
said,
this
was the redemption for me.
Here's a link to my apology or something like that.
Yeah.
He said, like, I posted an apology, here's the link. And the link was a website to purchase special needs helmets.
Yeah. For adults.
For special needs people. And that's just great. That's great trolling. That's great being like, chill type shit. And it also, he didn't apologize, which is a cool thing because I'm sick of that nonsense. And I really like that he did that. It's just a good precedent to set. It also shows that he has a very good sense of humor, regardless of what anyone will say about him. That's the other thing. I've met a lot of people out here who know him or work with him, and they all have nothing but good things to say about him. So that's another thing I like to say. Because, again, being a comedian of where I am, it's so aggravating for regular people when regular people just bring up the hottest comedian.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that even attractive.
In their algorithm.
It's just like, yo, can you fucking just leave me alone about it? But I've said this a million times too. If I could do what he did, I'd do it a million times over. Yeah. I would love to be selling out shows all over the world right now. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Solve the money problem real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. And
you're okay when you do get to a point where you're like making money and going out to nice restaurants after shows, your Instagram stories are about to be fire.
It is, dude. You have no idea. I can't wait.
I'm excited for you.
But I'm also it is going to be those nights of me being like had to go back, and it'll be me at Checkers. Be like I had to do it because I hit the road a lot too, so I'm always like I'll be at a Wendy's at 1 a.m. sometimes.
The road can be tough. And so when you have an outlet, truly, like food, where it's something you're excited about, it's like, I'm kind of tired. I kind of wish I was at home. But, I made it out here to do the show. Also, I get to go to a new restaurant.
Yeah, that is cool. I always ask people in towns I go to, what should I get around here? Is there this? Is there stuff I know around here?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the thing that sucks about doing stand-up is it's super late sometimes. So you can't go to those places all the time. But recently I was on the road with Zach Amico. We did 2 shows, Saratoga Springs. This is actually in the town of Saratoga Springs. It was called Tacos and Donuts.
Nice.
Donuts and tacos. That's exactly what they sold. And it ruled. Shout out to Donuts and Tacos. It also had it was dinosaur themed. So that's like 3 of my favorite things.
Yeah, it's like literally an amalgamation of your imagination.
Yeah. And I ended up getting Oreo donuts, and I didn't eat them. I gave them to a lady friend.
Whoa.
And she said they were great. So yeah, there you go.
A dowry for her hand in marriage.
Shout out to Donuts and Tacos, or Tacos and Donuts, because it was really fucking good. And that's what I mean. Like, I go to places like that when I'm on the road. Or, I look for anything like that's like
interesting,
famous sauce or cheese.
Yeah, absolutely. Going back to Matt Rife, I'm curious, like, what are your thoughts about like the discourse of like, oh, he's just handsome and that's why he has a following? Like, do you think that's a thing? Like, because I go on Facebook and I'll see like a random people from high school that are all women that are like, so excited to see Matt Rife tonight. And I'm like, oh, wow, like he is as popular as people say he is. Like, people that don't know comedy listen to his comedy, which is also a problem, and which is why if you can amass a great following, but boy, do they turn on you because they feel betrayed.
Yeah. So my thing, I was at a wedding this past weekend, and I was the plus one with my friend Sarah. My other friend Sarah, they're both Sarahs. They both have come to see me numerous times to see stand-up. I know they're not huge fans of stand-up, but they do enjoy it.
Yeah.
Actually,
and your friend.
they are. One of them more than the other. I'll say that. Having said that, they are going to see Matt Rife. I know they don't go to see a lot of famous people. They're going.
Yeah.
And I said, "Why are you going to see him?" And instantly they went, "He's hot." Like
Right.
Almost immediately. And I'm not saying that's the only reason to go see him, but it doesn't hurt. There's two ways this can go with comedy, like with doing stand-up the way it is. You should be funny no matter what, but if you're super funny and are interesting to look at one way or the other, it helps you.
Right, yes.
Like Stavros Halkias.
Yeah.
Perfect example. He is not traditionally an attractive man.
Right.
He's not.
But he
at
gets
all.
bitches.
Yes, and it was very funny, and also he looks a certain way.
Yeah.
He just has
interesting.
Yes, he has an interesting look. So that will carry him a long way. I think your boyfriend, Joe Gorman.
Yeah.
He's
got a look.
He is it's a matter of time. He's a very interesting approach to stand up, and interesting looking man.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a very interesting look.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm as attractive as Matt Rife, but I think I'm a decent looking guy, and I know in the realm of stand up I look better than most stand ups.
Right.
So I don't think I placate to that on stage too much, as I don't bring up like, oh, I'm gonna try. I can talk to women easier
and
than
not
most
be
stand-ups.
off-putting.
Yes, I do use that to my advantage. Like, and I don't mean like I try to get pussy from doing stand up.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a bit I think you've seen me do it, where I talk about like women's toy boxes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And stuff. So I know that the way I look, the way I talk about it, when women see me talk about it, they're like, "Oh, this guy isn't he's not he's not a weirdo talking."
Yeah,
about it.
he's saying something I relate to. It's not something that I'm creeped out by.
Yes,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
There's that. That's what I'd say. And Matt Rife is very attractive, objectively, I'd say. He's just like bone structure. And everything. He's good. Like you could say what you want about whether his lips are fake or not, but
fake lips, fake chin. I've seen so much shit on the internet about this. I'm like, you guys are so scary.
This is the thing too. It's not Matt Rife's fault that they're doing this. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like he plugged into the algorithm. He knew what to do. He played all the right cards.
Yeah.
And all power to him. Like, again, I wish I could switch spots with him. If I met him tonight and he was like, "You want to come on the road?" Immediately, I'd go on the road with him.
Immediately, yes.
It's not even a question. But I do. I also saw. I think I know what you're talking about too. And I think there was an article about him being like, "It doesn't help me that I'm attractive."
Right.
It definitely does.
Yeah.
Especially it clearly does when a lot of his fans are attractive women, younger women. Mm-hmm. They're all throwing teddy bears.
Women of all kinds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does placate to that. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's the new Dane Cook, Chris D'Elia.
Oh, I was obsessed with Dane Cook when I was young.
I
would have been so into Matt Rife if I was in high school.
Exactly.
1000%.
Dane Cook was the first comedian.
Yeah.
I remember the Kool-Aid bit. He got everyone with his YouTube stuff, Burger King, all that shit.
MySpace. He was huge.
Exactly. He's the first comic I was exposed to who was like rock star level to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, that's Chris Rock. Chris Rock is in his 30s or 40s.
Right.
It's like Dane Cook was in his 20s, I think, maybe early 30s.
Probably late 20s, early 30s.
And he was crushing it. We loved him. And I still love his old bits.
Same.
I would sign off on a few of them still. His now I've rewatched some of his stuff and I go, I can't believe I thought this was entertaining. That's that.
But your taste also changed.
It's also changed. But I also liked Chris D'Elia at one point. I liked
Chris D'Elia at one point too. Yeah,
his first special, Incorrigible.
Yeah.
So fucking funny.
I thought that was funny too.
Yes,
it feels so good to say that out loud, man.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't say that. Like, not because it's like, oh, Chris D'Elia is canceled, whatever. He's a monster. Like, because it's like that's embarrassing that you think unfunny Chris D'Elia is so funny.
He's so unfunny now. It's weird. And
but Incorrigible was a good special.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Unfunny now. I just don't pay attention to him now.
I literally could give a shit what he does.
Yeah.
I think that he sucks.
Yeah,
I think he's cringe.
Yeah, he's very cringe, and
he probably did be inappropriate. But anyways,
yes. But he's filling that slot. Hopefully, he doesn't go. Apparently, he's into older women, which I also am a fan of. But
wait, who? Matt Rife. Oh yeah. So every time with Chris D'Elia, I'm like,
no, yeah, exactly. Dane Cook, as we all know, is.
Yep.
Whatever, dude. And listen, whatever you want to do, it is what it is.
I definitely trust a guy. Obviously, I trust a guy more that's into older women.
Yes, it's it keeps happening by accident. I don't even realize it. I'll be talking to these chicks and they're like, "I'm older than you," and I'm like, "Cool." You know, I don't really care.
Also, I'm 31.
Yeah, I'm 31, so it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
But my thing, did you hate when you see like a young comic who's like 22? It's like, I was on a date with a girl the other day and she was like almost 30, and you're like, shut the fuck up, you fucking dork.
I know.
You're lucky that girl talked to you.
Yeah, it's like
that's not old. Like,
yeah, it's not old.
Yeah,
I'm 23 in my mind.
Yeah, I think now I'm 25 in my mind.
Yeah, I'm 25.
Yeah, I used to think I was 18 up until I became 30, I think. And then something happened. But when I have a roommate also who is 21, he's 10 years younger than me, and he calls me old all the time, and I don't really want to. I'm joking. I love him. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. But
sometimes I'm just like, you fucking idiot. Like, you'll be lucky to get to 31. You know what I mean? Like, not lucky.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If you make it to 31, you should be happy.
Totally. It's a gift. It's a gift.
Yeah. But
yeah, interesting. I think we're kind of aligned in our feelings, and I wanted your perspective on Matt Rife, just given all the heat that's been going on about it, and it's so funny.
He's the man. I guarantee you, a lot more comedians who we know feel the same way.
Absolutely, like literally
calling someone retarded without calling them retarded,
without having to say
retarded.
Yeah,
he called them retarded. That's what he's saying. He's like, you're retarded. And just hilarious.
So my whole TikTok today, my whole TikTok For You page has just been, here's why Matt Rife is wrong for talking about domestic violence. And then his response, is this real? Is this real? Yeah. And I'm like, it's like when it's like when the TikTok lesbians canceled Ashley Gavin on TikTok. Like, you guys just don't know comedy.
Yeah.
You know, like whether it's good or bad, whatever these things that we're commenting on, the art of it, whether it's good or bad, is comedy. And so if you I don't think comedy is for you.
Right.
I don't think it's for you.
Yeah.
It's not a safe space. No. You know, and I totally have heard jokes that hurt my feelings. I've said jokes that I've hurt other people's feelings, but none of it has ever been intentional.
Yeah, I've also I've had a lot since I moved to the city. I don't even care about I don't subscribe to a lot of the things people say on stage about generality, but there is a thing now when I'm in the audience, and if someone's on stage, it's usually a woman. I just want to preface that. I'm not saying it's always a woman, but someone who's like, oh, no one in here gets laid or anything. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sitting there. And it's not specifically that. It's that, or like, you're white, you don't get it.
Yeah.
You're a man,
just
you don't understand it. You're
probably
and I just sit there and I'm just like, I'm not, but you're making me like, like it just gets so aggravated with being told like what I am, and I'm like, I'm not really this. Why do you rope me in with the bullshit?
But and maybe this is where you're going, but I feel like when so many people are like against a comic for making a joke, it's like, well, you people all are like this. Like, you all like are just not into comedy.
Yeah.
If you're having these feelings.
Yeah. It's so weird when people who you see at open mics do crazy shit, or just aren't the moral compass that they project. I think I don't want to get into it because I'm not an expert,
like a comic when you know a comic isn't the person that like everyone else thinks is like this like do-gooder, has a good conscience. Like
I'll give a perfect example of just what we've seen recently. If anyone watches this is a comedian or watches comics, there'll be comics who are like dick joke, sex joke, dog joke, computer joke, and then Israel-Palestine happens.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And they're all of a sudden like dick joke, dog joke. Israel-Palestine is the most horrible thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
I can't believe none of you can understand the perspective I'm portraying here.
Yeah.
I've been through, and you're like, you didn't post about, and I know it's a hot button issue. I know a lot of people are affected by it. That's why they're posting about it.
Right.
But to be a dick joke comic talking about mushrooms and cats to shift all of a sudden into I'm an expert on this conflict is batshit to me.
Yeah. I also was like watching people post a lot and I'm like, I wonder when this will peter off. Like who will be the ones that are going strong, still talking about it. And I'm not saying it's not, obviously it's not something, it's something worth talking about, but in the realm of seeing our peers do this on social media, it's like, you're going to get tired. This is going to be just like the BLM protest that you always posted about and now you're not.
Same thing. Exactly. And this one's just so divisive. Like the BLM one, you could definitely not you could stay out of it. Like you can't stay out of this one. It's just this one you can't even like be like, hey, could I just Jesus Christ. You like open the door and it's like
absolutely.
It's like okay.
Because it's like both sides are like silence is violence.
Yes.
And I'm like,
exactly. And you can't even and then if you say anything, you go, so I have a perspective. And it has, and I don't think either of you are right. And then they're like, "This goes back to," and you're like, "Jesus fucking Christ!" So
this is why I am like the goys. We stay out of it.
Yeah.
Like I'm Catholic.
Yeah, exactly. I've never been more related to Christians in my life. Where I'm like, stay out of this one, man. This has nothing to do with us. I guess, right?
Yeah,
right? I mean, not us, but I grew up like that. Yeah. So it's I didn't grow up in it, but it's like that is a.
I'm just sad it's happening.
Comics,
I'm sad it's all happening.
I am too, but I want comics to just be funny. I don't want that. I don't understand this moral high ground of, oh, I gotta do this. Like, can't we just tell jokes and be silly?
Yeah, I just want to send my money places. If I have extra money, I can send it to efforts to help people.
Yeah, if you really want to do that, of course.
But creating code, generating code in the algorithm, I don't think.
I want to buy tacos and not think about it.
Hell
you know
yeah.
I mean? That's me. Not the conflict. I mean, like, I don't want to think about the fact that I bought tacos.
Yeah, no, I know exactly
detriment.
what you mean. I want to be at a place where my relationship to $20, I want my relationship to $500 be the same. That's where I want to be, which I did the math. It's like I have to make like $1.6 million a year for $500 to feel like $20.
Yeah. Oof.
But I'm bad with money, so I'll get there when I'm at like $500,000.
One day. I think about that all the time. I don't know when, but I'll figure it out. I've not got nothing else going on.
I just want it. Like, I'm just like, all right, I'm going to keep surrounding myself with like good people. It's like, I'm going to like, when I can go on the road with Tomaselli, I'm going to do it. Like, just like we all,
good times.
The cream rises to the top and we'll all be going to
I
Nobu.
hope so, dude. That's what I tell myself every time I
and if not that,
go for my long walk where I'm like, I should be looking for a job.
Yeah. Instead of going on this goddamn walk. Oh, man. I think we're at an hour, man. We've done it.
It's been only an hour? I thought it'd been longer.
Let's see. I don't know. I gotta
definitely
get up
been
and
a little
look.
longer.
Oh yeah, hour 12. Look at us.
Fuck yeah.
Look at us going.
Hell yeah.
Well,
I hope I answered all your whatever.
No, you did. Do you have anything else like about it, here's the thing. I did prep for your episode, but I've just been so busy with it being a short week that I'm like, I didn't do as much Instagram deep diving and researching as I usually do, but
that's fine. Well,
that's
we know
fine.
each other relatively well too.
And
so.
I think we covered a lot of good stuff. It's nice to know that you were fat at one point.
Gained a bunch of weight.
Gained a bunch of weight. Yeah. Where can people find you?
You can follow me at Silly Sally on Instagram. All S's, no spaces, I at the end. And I also have a podcast, and you were on the most recent episode with Joe. It's called Yes Offense, and it's on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube. Leave a positive review on iTunes. At least give me the stars. I don't care what you write in the thing.
Just give me the stars,
give me
baby.
The star review. And
subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, subscribe on YouTube, please. That would mean a lot. We're almost at 300 subscribers, all off of nothing, and I mean nothing. It's just straight organic, which is not a huge number, but I think
that's amazing.
Be growing off of nothing is a big deal. And I don't have any like dates right now, but if you follow me on Instagram, I will be I post them as they come. I should post more of a dates announcement. It's not as consistent as I'd like it to be.
Totally.
So just follow me, guys, there, and check out the podcast. I think that's it.
Great. Well, it was so awesome having you. Thank you so much for coming on.
It's awesome. Good
Listeners, we'll talk to you next Friday. Bye.
Thanks.
This is so fun.
Switched your mic.